So for the October 2020 Great Film Throwback Day, I've definitely got an interesting film for you. Now, in case you're new to my channel, let me just say welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. But if you are new to my channel, this might be a little fun fact about your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome that you don't know. So, I am always someone that likes to get movie recommendations, but there are two people in particular that when they recommend a movie to me, that just means that there's something truly special about it, only because these are not people who enjoy film as much as I do, as well as some of my peers. Those two people happen to be my younger brother and my mother. Now, it's one thing for my brother to recommend me a movie, but when my mother recommends me a movie, that means that I have to go and see it. And this is a movie that she has been begging me to see for so many years, and it is the Alan Parker directed film from 1978, Midnight Express, starring Brad Davis, and believe it or not, two actors that I had no idea were in this movie, and that is Randy Quaid and John Hurt. This movie also was an Academy Award winner for its screenplay, and it was written by Oliver Stone. I did not know that. I mean, Oliver Stone is a director that so many of us know, and is responsible for some of the most well-known and beloved films of the 1980s, like Born on the 4th of July, and Wall Street, and Platoon, of course, which won the Academy Award for Best Picture in 1986. But Midnight Express was a movie that I had been told was going to change me. It is the story of a young college student named Billy Hayes who is traveling home from Istanbul, Turkey, and when he and his girlfriend are on his way home, he gets stopped by airport security because of a terrorist threat. And all of a sudden, they strip his shirt off and they see that he is smuggling hash out of Turkey. And that's not a good thing to be happening in the early 1970s, and he is thrown into a Turkish prison. And he is there for 5 years and is supposed to be serving a sentence for 30 years. And what we get during this time that Billy is in this prison is some of the most horrifying, gripping, and game-changing things that you could ever witness happen to a man, or just a human being in general. There is everything from unsanitary conditions, brutal beatings by prison wardens, and even a section which is a sanitarium where men are basically like cattle just wandering aimlessly in these dark catacombs that look like they haven't even been renovated for centuries. It was one of the most mind-boggling, disturbing, but most brilliant depictions of prison life that I have ever seen. As a matter of fact, fans of The Shawshank Redemption have no idea what true life in prison is if you haven't seen a movie like Midnight Express. And I know that you all know that when it comes to me in October, I like to give you guys horror-themed films. Well, this could in fact be the scariest movie that you ever see. Why? This is a story that is based on Billy Hayes' true escape from the Turkish prison to freedom. Ironically, I saw this movie on October 4th, 2020. At the very end of the movie, I found out that that exact day was the 45th anniversary of Billy Hayes' escape from Turkey to cross the border into Greece, where he would officially be safe, and he would arrive back home 3 weeks later to his family. This movie is just something truly different. It is so natural and in your face, and it's just unlike any film that I have seen in all my years of film watching and being a film appreciator. I thought that Brad Davis did a fantastic job playing Billy Hayes. He really got me to feel for this character. I mean, you may not have seen Midnight Express before, but you probably may have seen the film Cable Guy with Jim Carrey and Matthew Broderick, and there's a scene where Jim Carrey pressed his nipple up to the glass and yells, "Oh, Billy." That's actually originally from Midnight Express, in one of the most haunting and somber moments in the entire film, when Billy's girlfriend Susan comes to visit him for the first time and she sees what this horrible place has done to him. All he wants is to just see a naked woman's body. I mean, that sounds very juvenile and disturbing, but when you see this movie, this could possibly be one of the most truest and saddest moments of the movie, because everything that Billy has endured up until this point, all he wants to see is just something to remind him of a life that he realized he just took it all for granted, and this is what it got him. He was just broken and torn, and Susan had no anger towards him just because of what she witnessed, and it really was one of the most human and heartfelt moments of the film, and it's crazy to believe, but also because of everything that you see in that movie, it turns out to be some kind of a light of hope for Billy. It's kind of scary. The score for this movie, also by Giorgio Moroder, which also won an Academy Award, was a fantastic one. It really fits the movie beautifully, and it really does go with the pace of this film. It does have some very slow burn moments, but it also has some very fast-paced moments, and it's all blended together beautifully. I didn't even know that this movie was up for Best Picture in 1979. I didn't know that some of the other actors were nominated. I didn't know that the director was nominated for this film. I just knew from my mother that this was just one of those movies you had to see because it was just going to be that impactful. And my God, my mother was right. This was a much better film than I thought that it was going to be, even though I was expecting it to be so much more brutal. It was definitely a fantastic and worthy film of seeing. I mean, you may not have the stomach for it, I understand, because these are going to show you true real-life horrors, and you're also going to see a lot of true corruption in this system, as well as in the Turkish government, but that's not something that's supposed to just single out Turkey. This was a movie that was also given so much controversy because of the depiction of the Turkish prison, of the Turkish people, but that was not necessarily the intent. I mean, when someone goes through something like that, unfortunately, there are seeds of dislike and even hate that are planted, and that's just unfortunately what makes the human race what it is, especially in this day and age. Is it a movie that I'm going to want to see again? Absolutely. This is just such a different and original film, and I would like to get this movie on DVD. I don't know if I will be able to right now, just because looking at some prices for it on Amazon, it is very, very expensive, and I don't understand why. But I would very much like to see this film again because of how I felt after watching it. Thank God it didn't give me nightmares. I mean, the last thing that I wanted to see happen was a person eat a cockroach right on the screen, but thank God that didn't happen. And I just highly recommend this film, especially if you are looking for a movie that's going to truly scare you this Halloween. Midnight Express is that film. I'm going to give the film a 3.5 stars out of 4, only because of the fact that I know it is not for everybody, and also it is not entirely perfect. I still very much enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Midnight Express, and I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.